Hi everyone, Michelle Fixit here. Today we're going to be working on trying to clean a burner for a water heater. It's a gas water heater and it has a burner in the bottom part of it. Your first step that you're going to do is turn your gas off. If you don't know how to turn the gas off, there's a gas line right here. And you just have to think about it as if this candle is going this way, it's stopping gas. If it's going straight up and down, then there's nothing stopping the gas. So we're going to turn it off. And then we're going to get down here and see what we've got going on. Alright. So, basically, this basin flooded. I've already cleaned the air filter that's down here. Around the base of it, there's an air filter that wraps itself around the base of the water heater. So I have cleaned that. That is actually upstairs drying. There was a lot of sediment around the base of the water heater. You could also have cat fur, dog fur, just dust, anything really. And so because I've already done that, I'm going to heavily assume that with the amount of sediment that I had at the base of this, that there's very likely sediment internally on the filter that's inside the unit. There also might be sediment on top of the burner. And so I can have as much fuel and as much spark as I want, and it's not going to ignite if it can't breathe. Or if there's sediment or gunk or whatever on the unit. So again, unit for the gas is turned off. So our first steps that we're going to do is I always take pictures of everything. So I'm going to take several different pictures from different vantage points of the unit. And then I am going to have to take off this screw and this screw. Some units have more screws than mine. A lot of them have like 4 or 6. This one only has 2. And then we're going to have to disconnect some of these pieces, and then we're going to pull this out. That's going to expose the burner, and we're going to clean the burner as best as possible. And then while the burner is out, then we're going to have to clean the net that's underneath it, which is actually a filter. So I'm going to try to keep you guys in the best vantage point, but as always, you guys are kind of an afterthought on what I'm having to do. So you guys might see everything, you might not. Apologies, but I'm just working and recording at the same time. So I'm going to pause you guys and see if I can lower you a little bit, and that way you're a little more on level with what I'm doing. Alright, so you guys are now as low as you will go on the tripod. So I'm going to grab a handy dandy phone and take some handy dandy pictures. With flash. And take as many pictures as you want to, because you're going to be unclamping things. And you want to make sure that you know exactly where everything's going to be plugged in. Because it's not like you have an audience watching you or anything. You're solo. Alright, so now that I have my pictures, I'm going to pull out my super cheap, super basic toolbox. And I am going to grab sockets to take this off. Yeah, actually, I'm lucky. I think these are flatheads too, so let's grab flathead. See if we can get to business with that. Oh, great. There we go. Might be third size. Oh, it is. Okay. I don't even have to use flathead. If you have an air compressor, this would be a great time to have an air compressor available. If you don't have have an air compressor, you can get a little mini portable teeny tiny blower air compressor. You can use compressed air. It's going to be more expensive. You could also try to use a vacuum cleaner. So that's all disconnected. Now I gotta see what we got going on over here. Pilot should just come off the flathead. There we go. So for him, he just kind of like almost tension grips on there. So you just get a flathead and you just push and then he pops right off. Yeah, little guys to disconnect down here. Grab our needle nose pliers. Pull this one off. Pull this one off. I'm orienting them so that I know that when I go back to them that they just go like so. What I can also do is I can bend this one, so now I know that that one, the bent one, is on the right and the other one is on the left. You do whatever you do to make sense for you. And there was already yuck in here before I even started. And down here, that's for the motor. That's for that guy. That's for this guy. Because I have very limited tools available to me. So I'm using an adjustable crescent wrench to get him off of here. Here we go. So, getting this guy off. And then be very nice and then just glide him out of there. So he is now disconnected. Try to adjust and get the other. Well, I'll probably go for this little guy first. Try being the keyword there. I need to get my other phone so you can see. Hold on. That one has a little bit of corrosion, so it might be more difficult to get off. Some movement. Oh, no, I got rounding. be a great opportunity to have an appropriate size tool. And sometimes if you can't get it, if you try to tighten it and then try to loosen it and try to tighten it and then try to loosen it, you kind of go back and forth, you might get some headway that way. It's kind of like working on a car where, like, it's just one thing. And you never know how long that one thing is going to take for you to get off. And if you're working with something that's older, do not round your stuff out. So far, I only have the one guy that's been able to come out. And I'm not going to have much flexibility at all with this. I'm just going to try to see if there's... It's just these two little guys right here that are holding me up to get them off. Because once I can get them untightened, I might have to put something on them to loosen them up. But once you get these two guys disconnected, then you can pry the whole thing out of there. So I'm gonna mess around with it for a minute and see if I can get it. All right. So once I change the light to over here, and I started moving this guy, I got him to start moving. And it's just that big guy that's going to be the problem. Feels like I should be able to loosen him by hand, but he keeps acting like he's getting stuck. There we go. I don't know how much of this you guys can see. I'm just loosening him. And every now and then his threads get stuck. Alright, so now he's out. Whoop. Alright. We're out of there. Now it's the big guy. Maybe with this guy a little out of the way, I'll be able to get him. So like if in a lot of the videos that people make it seem like this stuff is easy, it's having the experience, it's having the right tools, it's maybe their stuff is newer than yours. So don't get discouraged when you're sitting here trying to fix stuff and everybody makes it look so easy. Sometimes it's not easy. sometimes they have way better tools than you do. Oh, jeez. Just like in life. Like, oh yeah, I won that race. Well, that's interesting because you were in a brand new Camaro, and I was in I was in an F-150. This guy is such a pain. I can barely even get a good angle on it for one because this guy is right here. That's probably why they changed from this older style where you're fighting with this, because the newer style has a small button that's up here and it's just much more tidy. Because this stuff gets gunked up. It gets gunked up and burners have to get replaced. Alright, I'm going to pause you guys again while I play with this. Alright, because I feel like you guys get bored, I just got excited because I got it. So, you know, don't do this at home. But if it's super stuck and you don't have something to unbreak it, I just sat there and like, I tightened it on there. I made sure that it wasn't going to like, round it out or anything. So I got a really good grip on it. And I was just kind of like giving it little bitty left taps, but with like more gusto. And then, I flipped it and did the same thing over here on this side, and I was, you know, kind of doing it this way, but I was trying to have it where like I had my hand in the way so that I wouldn't hit the tank, and now it's finally loosened. Well, I thought it was. Hold on. No, it is. It's loosened because I'm like, man, this is so stuck. Oh. All right. And you just like nicely pull them out of there and get blinded by your flashlight because you're like, I have to get this thing out. Alright, I'm gonna set flashlight up right there. Give me some better light. Because I'm in a basement and it's dark and it's just like, it's not the best lighting. And this one was like super stuck. It's like I said, this is a super old unit. I mean, it's not like ridiculous. Oh, there we go. Oh. So what I did with my flathead is I just kind of like jiggled just a little bit, not to cause any damage, but to break that seal. And now I get to fight with it to get it out. Some of the insulation on the top is right with it. And it already smells gross. So I have a feeling it's going to be disgusting. Ah, there we go. Oh, and it still has water in there. Yeah, and this thing is filthy. So that spark that we were seeing inside of it is right here. So all this stuff is still wet. And then look at all the stuff. Like these little guys in here, this is where the gas comes from. The gas comes in, and then when it's once this pilot light starts it, it's gonna whoosh. So this gives you, so this is your spark right here, your pilot spark, or your igniter, and then this is going to be your pilot. So it gives a little bit of gas, and so if all this is wet, then of course it's not. Then the thing's gonna be all gross too. But then there's gas that comes out in these little holes, and then that's what heats your water. And so in this case, everything is still super duper gross. And I mean, you can see how much nastiness is on there. So we're gonna set this to the side over here because I have to clean that. And then we're gonna look inside of it, which is also still wet. Oh, and this one has a smaller little nutty breathy guy than the other guy. So what I'm going to do, since this is all so wet, is I'm going to find, I guess, grab some paper towels and stuff, and then we'll clean the inside of it out, and then we'll use the air compressor to, the little mini itty bitty air compressor, to blow everything out, like to blow it down. And I guess I'll see if I have like a hair dryer or something to help dry it out. Is somebody seen me upstairs? I am. What do you need, Sean?
I was going to see if I get paid for the last couple of days.
Okay. Give me a second, because you're part of my video now. That's okay. So yeah, we gotta clean all of this out. And then, you know, if you are at this point of the stage with your water heater, just know that, like, your water heater maintenance, your burners occasionally need to get cleaned. It's more of like a reactive thing. I mean, unless you want to just take it out and stuff like that every so often. I broke a nail again. But this little valve right here, you want to attach a garden hose to, and you want to clean all the sediment, because sediment can build up in the water heater over time. So, you know, once every 6 months, once a year, something like that, do that, especially if you start off with a new water heater. Purge it every so often. 1 second, Sean. And then the other thing is that there's a sacrificial rod that's inside of it, that if you change that out at intervals, which you just got to Google it, then it will corrode instead of your tank, and that will also prolong the life of your water heater. So I'm going to go upstairs and do what he needs me to do really quick, and then we will continue on with stuff. And I'm going to grab paper towels so we can clean this out together. Alright, I have some supplies. So let's start off with our super dirty, yucky guy, our burner. See if I can get you guys... Oop! As I drop it into the bucket of gross. I have this bucket of gross here. Alright, so there's your burner. And as you guys can see, it is disgusting. So I have some paper towels. And we're going to clean all this stuff off. Clearly it has not been cleaned in a long, long time. I have never cleaned this particular burner. And it may be that after I do all this, I have to undo it all again and get another burner. If I do, it's not a big deal. Basically, this whole little thing comes in a new one. If I had a wire brush, that'd be great. And try to just scuff it up a bit with this flathead in the corners and stuff. If you have a wire brush, feel free to grab a wire brush and wire brush it. If you don't, use a flathead like I'm doing. Alright, I do have electrical contact cleaner. It's the only cleaner I have right now for something like this. It's not electrical contact, but it will give enough of a oomph in its spray to help me out. Forewarning, you do have to make sure that you let all of this adequately dry before you put it back together again. Okay, come on now. There we go. Alright, we're going to kick this over to the side. You do want to check all your little holes on the bottom, make sure they're all clear. I'm going to give all of this a good wipe down. This is not this CRC contact cleaner is not my favorite contact cleaner. My preferred contact cleaner is the WD-40 electrical contact cleaner. That one dissolves like at a faster rate. I am still not happy with the level of oxidation that's all over here. Where'd my little screwdriver go? What did I do with my screwdriver? There's my screwdriver. Because you want it to be as clean as you can get it. Oh, that alarm's going off. Alright, so now I am going to put that on my dehumidifier that's running so that it gets a little air and it sits there and it dries out. I know, and contaminates my air supply with contact cleaner. Gerbecottes. Alright, so now I'm going to move my bucket of yuck back over to the side. And we're going to come back over here to this. And because at this point I cannot recall what you guys have and have not seen, you're going to see in here. So you see all that debris and all that yuck? I'm going to clean all that yuck out of there to the best of my abilities. So I'm going to grab some more paper towels, see if I can set you guys up somehow with this hammer. You guys might not get the vantage point that you want. Alright, you're kind of balancing. We'll see how long that lasts. Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot of water. I'm gonna clean the water out where I do the rest of it. I can almost reach. Yep, there's the end of it. Trying not to get my arms stuck in there. See? Yuck. Yes, Izzy. It would be in the cabinets in the laundry room. I think we have the box milk in there or in the refrigerator.
The refrigerator milk is expired. I love the box milk though.
Okay, well the box milk is in the emergency box milk is in the laundry room. Okay. All right. It's dry. Trying to open up this container of alcohol. And not get a face full of alcohol. Ugh. So I had to use my teeth. Because I'm trying to get all the water up and clean this thing. And alcohol dissipates pretty quickly. Oh, good grief. Let's see if I can use my other arm. Alright, trying to clean this little filtery guy. Trying to gauge how far it is with my hand because I'm about to use the air compressor in there. So it's going to get loud. You want to turn your volume down because I'm about to air compress it. Or not. Oh, because this power supply is now dead too. Okay, so I think somebody disconnected one of my cords. So now okay, so now I have to find a way to flip the breaker. I'll be back. Alright, I have power again. So we're going to use the air compressor to blow out the air in the unit. You plugged it in. Thank you, Izzy.
Welcome. Another cord was plugged into something else, so I had to unplug that cord and plug it back into the thing.